Today we're gonna be taking a look at the 4th map coming to Battlefield 1 along with the second part of Turning Tides DLC in January next year. I'd love to begin this video with saying that Heligoland is a naval warfare map, but in reality it's not really a naval warfare. Because while it does have the most naval warfare elements out of all maps in Battlefield 1, it still isn't close to, for example, Naval Strike DLC from the previous game Battlefield 4. Instead of purely showcasing the map and making a boring video explaining every single turret and AA cannon that's placed on it, I'd like to focus on the actual problems that this map has and refer to what other YouTubers said couple days ago after playing it on the exclusive testing. But before we begin this topic, it would be actually smart to tell you what vehicles and things are available on this map so that we can refer to them later. Generally the whole map is focused on the infantry gameplay, which takes place on the main land and those smaller islands around it. Currently in CTE, each side has one L-class destroyer, 2 planes and tons of boats. And that's it for the vehicles. There is no submarines that people were asking for. There is one, but it's crashed and it's only on the objective, it's not the actual vehicle, it's just crashed on the land. You can't use it, you can't interact with it, so it doesn't count. As I've already mentioned, I don't necessarily want to focus on the looks of the map, because you can clearly see it throughout the gameplay and there is not much to talk about here. You've probably already watched videos from every other big Battlefield YouTuber from the exclusive testing, so it doesn't make any sense for me to waste your time and for me to talk about something that's already been talked about. So instead, we're gonna focus on the problems that those YouTubers highlighted, and I'm gonna prove it to you that the majority of them don't make any sense. Because here is the biggest problem with all of these guys. Majority of players can't shape, create or get their own opinion. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but they just don't have their own opinion. They repeat what they've heard from someone else on YouTube because they automatically assume that if someone has tons of subscriptions, he's got to be right. And that's totally not true. The first problem, stated by the majority of players, is the fact that it's too easy to get kills with planes on this map. Yes, it is incredibly easy to score kills using plane on this map, but it's not because planes are overpowered. Planes are the same as on every other map in Battlefield 1. The problem with this one is that it's not textured yet, and it will always be easy to pick off kills from the distance if the whole environment is just white and character models are black. And no, it is not that easy to fly in plane on this map, because not only you have AA on the B point, which can pretty much shoot across the whole map, also you have 2 enemy planes to take care of, new 80 rocket gun, allowing infantry to easily damage planes for 25 or even 30 HP in one shot, which is insanely easy to land, by the way. On top of that you've got destroyer, which also has AA cannon, and infantry shooting you from the ground. Also, the maximum flying height for planes on this map is a lot lower than on the others, but somehow no one has mentioned it in their videos. And if you are wondering what this lower ceiling changes, well, essentially, if you are flying in a plane, you want to go as high as possible to then go down and have as much time as possible to attack ground targets while flying down. Naturally, when you do the math, if you have a lower ceiling, you have a shorter flying path, and you don't have that much time to attack ground targets. Also, on top of that, you can't get a height advantage over AA cannons because they are always able to reach you. And the second thing goes for the second problem, and that being complaining about lack of the naval combat. I do agree that it is a problem, but suggesting that we should get waves or some other stuff, it's pointless. We don't even have properly suited vehicles for naval combat in this game to begin with. Why can't people just understand that the intentional design for torpedo boats was to be a means of transport, not a fighting vehicle? You don't have any firepower while being with it, and while yes, you can utilize cannons, but then again you're gonna get instantly sniped out of it. You can use torpedoes, but then again those are only good for destroying the destroyer, everything else will just dodge them. So the whole problem doesn't lay in the Heligoland map, it lays in Battlefield 1's gameplay mechanics. It's not even about, for example, planes being overpowered or not. It's not about it, because They don't have to be overpowered when they are too easy to use. Everyone can use planes in Battlefield 1 and everyone can be good with them without having to learn how to even use them. Can you guys recall how hard it was in Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 3 to take out infantry using plane compared to Battlefield 1? You don't have to put any effort to do that, you don't even need to switch to the first person. And I'm saying this from the pilot's perspective, not from the perspective of a guy who's getting killed by planes 24/7 on the ground. Someone has also mentioned that there is a tunnel system under the ground, or even part of some city on this island, of course in real life, and now everyone wants it to be added to the game. Let me ruin all of your hopes, because you're not gonna get it. The map is already in its final state, and it's not going to be changed much. It's going to be released in less than 3 weeks, and we have holidays in the meantime. As we all know, no one works during holidays, I mean in DICE. So they won't have much time for tweaking the map, or especially redesigning it completely to include some tunnel system under it. I could keep on going for another hour and just keep proving that majority of those statements don't make any sense, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because I'm really not trying to do it. I'm only upset because when someone big on YouTube says that this map is terrible, no one wants to even play it in CTE. New map was released and I had to wait a whole day to get at least 20 players on it to be able to record something decent. And it's not about me not getting the footage, it's about DICE not even receiving the feedback from community because they don't want to join the map because they've already heard their gut saying the map is terrible, redesign it, it needs reworking. It doesn't need it. All it needs is a little bit of feedback from the community on how they can improve it and make it a better map. And as I said at the beginning, majority of players don't have their own opinion, they just repeat something they've heard from someone else with reputation and they think it's always true. But it's not. Anyway guys, that would be it for this video. As always, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I see you on the battlefield.